You're listening to the Public Health Entrepreneurs Podcast with your host, Dr. Charlotte Huntley. Welcome to Public Health Entrepreneurs, the podcast for visionary leaders who are ready to transform public health and healthcare through innovation. I'm your host, Dr. Charlotte Huntley, and as a public health entrepreneur with over 25 years of experience in healthcare and public health, I understand the unique challenges and opportunities that come with bridging multiple disciplines. If you are an interdisciplinary professional, a high-functioning leader with expertise across different fields, then you know what it's like to see opportunities that others miss. That is why we focus this podcast to provide you with the type of support that you need. Now, on this topic today, I'd like to share with you under the umbrella of networking. Now, how many of you cringed when I said that? It's not something that everyone is excited about when it comes down to entrepreneurship, but it is something that I encourage you to get excited about. This is an opportunity for you to share your expertise and learn about the other person, the potential client's challenges, or the other person that you're going to share with, learn about what they do and what they offer. We should be excited to get to have this type of interaction. If we talk to enough people, we increase our chances of actually securing the type of client that we really want to work with and that we can really get excited about. Remember, we're problem solvers. So when we are able to share how we solve a problem or share about the problems that we want to address and help solve, then we can get equally excited when other people are interested in hearing what we have to say and maybe even wanting to work with us to solve the problem. Maybe they have the same problem that we are here to solve. It's an exciting exchange and opportunity to meet a whole lot of people along the way as you are looking to work with new clients and new problems that you want to tackle. And then you also will build this repertoire and have this group of people and stories that you can share about how you've solved that problem for others and how you're on to the next. So it's an exciting time, and it really can be an exciting time. But I know at the beginning, when you're feeling a little uncomfortable or maybe somewhere in the middle, you've done this for a while, but maybe it starts to feel a little bit more like a chore. Well, if that's the case, I'm also encouraging you to reframe that, because one thing that you definitely want to make sure that you're doing is consistently networking. One of the things that is going to keep your business driving forward and keep you having a pipeline, which is a group of people that are constantly kind of working their way through. They're coming to you, you're getting to know them. They're either going into an area where they're not ready to work with you right now, but they want to stay connected with you because when they're ready, they want to know that they can get to you easily. Or maybe they decide that they are not a client type for you. Maybe the problem they have is not one that you solve, but that's okay too, because you may have a recommendation for them, or they may be able to then know clearly what problem you solve, and they can then share that with other people. So these people that you meet are moving constantly into one category or another, or maybe they're coming straight into working with you and they're ready to talk about proposals and contracts. We work hard to get this going, and then we get some clients. And this happens often. So if it's happened to you, you know what I mean. And if it happens to you, don't feel bad about it. It's a part of what we learn. But we work hard to get this group of people, these people coming our way, and the process is moving nicely, right? We've got some people over here that are waiting to work with us, that might want to work with us. And then we've got a handful of people that have signed the contract and they are our clients. And now we're doing the work. And we're busy because we're trying to make sure that we solve their problem and we do what we do with excellence. And we're focused on serving them because they're right in front of us and they're paying us to do the work. And we stop doing all those things to attract people our way. Well, then at some point we complete the project work for the current client and they move on their way happy and satisfied and pleased. And then you have no one else waiting to work with you. So if you get really busy focused on just the client work in front of you and you stop the networking activities, that can be a very dangerous move for your business, because you could end up going through a season where you don't have clients because you did not keep that perpetually moving. So what I'm encouraging you to do is embrace a cycle and a system where you are as busy as you might be doing the current client work, you still need to be networking and attracting more clients your way, even if that means the clients come your way and you don't have capacity. Maybe you have to put them on a wait list. Sometimes they're happy to wait for their turn to work with you. How many times have you stood in line to buy tickets for somebody that a concert, an event that you really wanted to go to, or you waited in line at an amusement park because you wanted your turn on that ride? Or, we wait for what we really want. You may have had to wait to work with someone else whose services came highly recommended. And you said, okay, well, they have a wait list. They can't get to you for 2 or 3 weeks. Then you wait the 2 or 3 weeks, right? Or 2 or 3 months in some cases. So it is okay that you don't ever want to get to a point where I don't need any more clients. You may feel that way, but find a way to keep that moving, keep them on a wait list or whatever the case may be. But you just don't want to stop and just focus on the work and stop all of your efforts with networking. You can tone them down. Maybe you were once upon a time networking, maybe once a week you were doing something, and now you may have to do it once every other week or once a month. Just don't stop. So what I'm going to share with you, a couple of strategies for networking, is you can decide where it needs to fit for you, but I just want to share a couple of different turns on this. So we're going to talk about networking events. Networking events, how'd that make you feel? A little bit more optimistic, maybe, hopefully. Okay. So I'm going to talk about hosting an event as well as attending events. So if we just go with hosting events, you may decide to host a networking event. It could be a virtual event or it could be an in-person event. They serve similar purposes and they can be large or small, depends on you. And it depends on the type of services that you offer. If you have a relatively low price service or offering, then you're going to need a high volume of clients. So you may want to go for larger events. You may have more premium pricing and you only take on one client at a time. So you may want a hand-picked smaller type of event. It just depends on you and your circumstances. So that's something that you will need to define for yourself. In our mastermind group program, we talk about these types of things. And this is something that we would bring to a mastermind meeting and kind of talk as a small group or engage with each other in our community forum. And I give direct feedback based on the members. I get to know their businesses really, really well. So I could make a recommendation for them based on their services and offering and how their networks and so forth. But you're going to have to filter that through for yourself. So, and if you are going to host an event, there are a lot of ways you can do a virtual event. It could be a webinar style. It could be a live stream, using something like StreamYard, where you can have a webinar feel, but it's a live stream. It could be a Zoom meeting. There are a lot of different ways that you could do this. Depending on, again, your type of client that you're looking to attract and bring to you. If you're having more premium type services, or if your decision makers are not likely the types who are going to maybe register for your webinar, then maybe look at invitation. Maybe you have a select list that you want to personally invite to come to your networking event. And maybe at this event, you share some value, or you share not a meal at this virtual event. So stick with the virtual for a moment, but maybe you share some value. Maybe there's a question that maybe you each on around the table are sharing around the topic, but it needs to connect to your services. Your services and your offering needs to be a logical next step for the people in this room, in this virtual room, or at this virtual table, this virtual event. And the promise of meeting other people. Sometimes the draw for the people you invite could be meeting the like-minded colleagues, new people that they don't already know, or maybe engaging with people they don't normally have the time to engage with over this topic that you decide is relevant. Again, if in our mastermind program, I really help you create what that is, but you can take this example and insert your business and what you do and what you offer and craft something. And if it's something that I can help you with one-on-one, then reach out to me and we can book a call and work on how I can help you with that. But hosting a virtual event could be a great way to connect, especially with your colleagues, or the potential for your work is beyond your geographical area. Then this is an excellent way. Or, you can connect with people across the country, across your region, around the world. So that's up to you. It's wide open, but consider hosting a virtual event could be a good opportunity for you. And you don't do this type of event very often. So you would, really center it around something that's kind of strategically decide when to do it. So on the other side of that, you could host an in-person event. It could be whatever you want it to be. The same concept. You could invite people to your virtual event. Like you could handpick this, curate the list of people that you want to invite by design to this event. And for all those same reasons of the virtual, maybe the benefit of them meeting and collaborating with colleagues around the table that they don't normally have time to visit with, or people they've never met. You can discuss, present a question, a topic that people can share thought leadership around. Again, keeping in mind that your services need to be the logical next step. Your expertise, what you offer, needs to fit in very nicely with whatever the topic you choose for this event, if you're sharing some expertise. And if it's truly a meet and greet, then the draw, the appeal could be those like-minded people that others are interested in connecting in the room. But there still needs to be that opportunity for you. And sometimes you don't know exactly what the potential is and where your offer may be. But if you get these people who you feel that this could be a potential good client for you in the room together, it could be a really eye-opening and kind of surprising event because you never know what direction it might go in. So that could be a good opportunity, either virtual or in person. Consider hosting an event. This is great if you have a few connections. It doesn't matter if your business is brand new or if you've been around for a while. Most of us, I keep talking about this interdisciplinary professional. You have a really rich network and you have colleagues because you've worked in this industry or in multiple industries for years, and you start bringing these people together. It's really magical how it comes together, and it could be the beginning of your business or somewhere down the line, but you have the potential to really sift out some quality clients through hosting an event like this. Now, let's talk about, you may say, okay, that's really great, but I'm not ready for all that yet. I'm still trying to kind of brainstorm this out. I'm still doing a little this, a little that, haven't niched down enough, whatever the case may be. If that doesn't feel aligned for you, then attending networking events are also very valuable. And again, it could be a virtual or in-person event. So the virtual events, when you register for a webinar on a topic, see who's in the room. I always find this to be really intriguing. It's kind of funny, air quotes funny, who shows up that you already know, and then the type of people that you can meet through the chat and the conversation in these types of events. And I'm not just talking about a webinar, that's usually what comes top of mind. There are a lot of virtual networking events that are very interactive, and you could just test it out one time with maybe something that feels like a little bit on the edge of not really your niche, maybe kind of a niche, but you're not sure. That's a great place to be because you never know what could come of it. So test it out. If it's a virtual event, it's really, you've invested an hour. Sometimes there is a charge for this. So it's an investment to see what could happen and what the possibilities are. It's a nice way to shake things up sometimes. And then attending in person, same thing. I encourage you to be a little strategic, but be open, because whenever we are ready and willing to think outside the box and be a little creative, I think that's where all the magic happens anyway. So attending these types of events, you'll be surprised. Again, I work with a lot of folks who are consultants, a lot of different types of entrepreneurs. The majority of them are consultants. So when we talk about these type of virtual events, the local events are really nice because you get a chance to meet and mingle with the local community needs and people and professionals and look to see what's local. And sometimes the cost is a lot less. You don't have to worry about travel as much. It's not really like overnight necessarily, a lot of day events, and you don't have to spend a lot of time or money or to get to where the activity is. But just explore and spread your wings and expand and see just what's possible. I think you'll be really surprised. I know I have been surprised many of times by doing this. Again, you want to manage your time, so be strategic about the ones that you're planning to attend. But if you're in a season where you're really needing to, you really maybe you're really low on clients, you really need to pick up clients, then maybe attend several of these and test this out. But if you're really at that busy stage, you've got clients, you think, I don't have time to go to this is where you really do still need to show up. Maybe not as often or as frequently, but don't completely stop. I just encourage you to not do that. So these are some ideas that you can just plug them in where they fit in with you. And if you're really busy doing client work, then just carving out an hour to attend an event to meet some new people and start things up a little bit is a great place to be and a great use of your time. So as we wrap this up, I'd like to remind you that I do have a couple of different ways that I can support you. If you're looking for personalized guidance, then I really do invite you to explore the opportunity to work together with me one-on-one, especially with some of the things I've talked about in this episode. If that's intriguing, maybe you want to host a networking event, but you're not really sure where to start or how to set that up. And that's a great strategy session to sit down. The two of us can work through something like that and really customize something for you. I understand these unique challenges that fall at this interdisciplinary intersection. So I can help you turn your innovative ideas into reality. Now, if you are ready to join a community of high-functioning leaders like yourself, then I really do encourage you to apply for our premium mastermind group program. You'll connect with other professionals that are like you, trying to bridge multiple disciplines and creating meaningful change in public health. Visit publichealthentrepreneurs.com to learn more, and links are also provided in the show notes for this episode. All right, everyone. Until next time, have a fantastic rest of your day. Thank you for listening. Visit publichealthentrepreneurs.com to learn more.